Hi friends, hello everyone. I wanted to talk to you today about the topic for a time such as this. And I believe wholeheartedly that each and every one of us, yourself and myself and everyone that's in the world right now, but specifically also in South Africa, because we're South Africans, we have been chosen for a time such as this. There's a reason that were not born 100 years ago or 200 years ago, but that we are specifically on this earth right here, right now. And there's a reason that we're here now and that we are together facing this modern day plague. And I think it begs the question is how are we going to grow and learn in the face of adversity, and how are we going to use this crisis to define and carve out a better world for ourselves and a better future for ourselves. This is an unprecedented time. There's a lot of fear happening in South Africa right now, which is understandable. And I think the question is how are we going to let the situation mold us and define us? And how are we going to learn from what we're going through right now in order to create a better future for ourselves, for our loved ones? And how are we going to use this opportunity to ultimately create a better world for ourselves and a better future for ourselves? And that brings me to my next point, is that we are facing and we are on the brink of a whole new world. It's uncharted territory that we're in now. But I can tell you this wholeheartedly, and I believe this, is that we are on the brink of newness. We are on the brink of a new world, because things will not be the same again. But it is how we let this situation define us, mold us, and shape us that is going to determine the outcome of a new South Africa, of a new society, of a new culture, and of a new world. And I want to implore all of you to not come into agreement with fear. I know it's difficult, and I know it's hard, and I know none of us have experienced this before, and it's the uncertainty that creates fear. But I really want to encourage us to come into agreement with faith and to stand on our faith right now. And I also want to ask all of us to use this time that we have been given. Never in the history that I'm aware of the world, for as long as the world has been going, have mankind and South Africans been given this time capsule of 3 weeks that is lockdown. And in my opinion, it's an absolute gift to have been given this time, because the clock has stopped. And what is the one thing that we always need, excuse me, and that we're asking for, the one thing that evades us all the time, is time. And here we are with this precious gift we've been given, where tomorrow is Easter, tomorrow's Good Friday, so we're at the halfway mark. We've been given these 3 weeks to lean in, to take courage. It's almost like a rabbit hole that we've been jumped down, but in the midst of the storm, in the eye of the storm, and the adversity that we're going through, we've been given this gift of 3 weeks of time. And it's how we use this time that is going to determine our outcome, and that is going to determine our future, and that is going to determine a whole new world for us, because we will enter into the promised land. We're in the desert right now, and we're in a difficult time, and we're facing this modern day plague, or old plague. It's a plague, it's what's happening. And it's how we use this time as we stand on our faith and make use of this incredible, this space is not the right, but right word, but this incredible time we've been given, that is going to pioneer a new future for ourselves. I don't know about you guys, but here's what I really want from the depths of my heart, is I want, and I have been using this time to phone a friend, to reconnect with some family members that have been strained, relationships have been strained. I want to use this time, and I have been using this time to really sort of carve out and understand what's important to me, and what's important to my loved ones, and what relationships do I want to mend, what fences do I want to mend. We've all seen so many things on the news and on YouTube about nature, how nature has, since the lockdown has happened globally, has just not only restored and rested itself, but it's revived. and there's a sense of peace in nature, and I feel like each and every one of us can really, in the face of this adversity, is to learn from nature, to look at what's going on around us, to take stock, to take a breath, to use this time capsule that's never been given before, that has been bestowed upon us, this grace period, to use this time to push the reset button. I know you've heard it said, I'm saying it again, to push the reset button and to decide what it is that's important to us. How do we want to come out of this? What kind of a nation do we want to come out of? What kind of a South Africa do we want to mold and build for ourselves as we come out of this, which we will? Are we going to come out of our homes scared and timid? No, guys, we're going to come out of our homes and back into society a braver people, a people that have been called by faith to stand on faith, because God has had South Africa in the palm of his hand for as long as our country has been going. And you know, our united South Africa has faced so many adversities. Goodness, we've overcome so much, and we've overcome division before. And we're facing potential division now. But God has kept South Africa in the palm of his hand. Folks, we live in a very special country. This is a very special land. It is. And we are going to come out of this united. God's got South Africa in the palm of his hand. And how blessed are we that we are led by a president that is singing hymns in a public church that's recorded for South Africa to see. What an incredible example. We've got our Chief Justice who's calling to South Africa to pray. We are led by modern day kings, which is our president. I'm quoting the Bible, which is our president, our authority here in South Africa, that has bowed down to the Lord and that has put their hope and their faith in the future of this country firmly in the palm of God's hand. And our president and our cabinet is asking us to do the same thing, is to stand in faith, to use this time to reconnect with loved ones, to reconnect with family members that we haven't seen or spoken to in a long time, to reconnect with ourselves, to come into a place of realizing what's important for us. And I tell you this, is that again, we are going to come out of this, and we are going into the promised land. We are going to come out of this a better world, a kinder world. I implore you to be a part of that movement, to be a part of that journey, so that when we tell the story to our children and to their children, what are we doing? We're changing history. We're making history. We are pioneering a whole new world for ourselves that will affect generation upon generation upon generations. Why? How? By choosing to stand in faith, by choosing to come out of this kinder, to show and spread love to others. You know, I just quickly want to say this, is that before the lockdown started, and it will stop, but before it started, you know what I've experienced when I was in the shops and everybody was panic buying and, you know, everyone was around and scrabbling. What I experienced was strangers talking to me and being sweet and being kind. I experienced car guards who were supportive, exceptionally supportive, who were helping. I experienced kindness from people. I experienced humor. And that is what we as South Africans do. We're a united nation, and very little, if anything, gets us down. And I'm telling you, South Africa, that we will come out of this stronger and better for it, because we have the opportunity now to change a nation that will change nations, that will change generations, and we have the privilege to pioneer the way for our future generations and our children and our children and our children after that. So I want to ask you, I want to implore you, in the face of adversity and in the face of fear, and I know it's scary, I want us to cultivate courage and kindness, and to use this time that has so gracefully been given to us to come out of this a better people. Heal those relationships. Phone your mother, phone your father, phone your daughter, your wife, whatever it is. Make good. And let's together not only be witnesses to what's happening around us, but let's be active participants. Let's participate in the future of South Africa. Let's participate in a country that makes history, that comes out of this a better people, a stronger people, a more united people. And let's also, sorry, my phone's ringing, come out of this and knowing that we are defined and led by a Father in heaven who is alive and who is here today, who, my phone's very active, who is alive and who's here today, and who will see us through this, and who will bring us into the promised land. And it's not lost on me, and I'm sure it's not lost on you, that we're in Pesach at the moment. Today's Thursday, tomorrow is Easter Friday. And you know, we absolutely we're facing this at this time right now, because it's not lost on me, is what I want to say, sorry, my phone's so active, is that we're going into Easter. Jesus died so that we could have life. This timing, God's using this timing to remind us that he died on the cross for us, for our sins, and that by his stripes we are healed. And that our loving, ever-present Father is as relevant today as what he was 2,400 years ago, or 2,000 years ago when he died on that cross. So let's use this time and let's go into Easter kinder. Let's reset. Let's think about what it is that's important to us. Let's listen to our government. Stay home, be safe, and be wise. But let's press in on our faith right now. And let's together, as a country, all of us together, because it takes every single one of us, to really think about what it is and what kind of a world it is that we want to go into when this is over, and how we want to help cultivate and form it. How do we want to change society? And we're going to. We're going to by virtue of the lessons that we learn in this, and we're going to by cultivating courage and faith and softness and kindness to each other. So this message was urgent for me to get out to you. This is actually a phenomenal time. It's phenomenal. We've never been through this before in the world. And I really want South Africa, and I know you do too. I want South Africa to be that country that's like a beacon of light, amidst the fact that we just become junk status, amidst the fact that we've got Eskom issues, and amidst all of that, the country that has had so much division and adversity. I want South Africa to come out of this being a shining beacon, a little lighthouse to the rest of the world. We flattened the curve. We stood on faith, and South Africa's government leaned into God when they knew that every knee needs to bow right now, and that faith will get us through this. Let us be that country. Let us be that country. God bless South Africa, and he will. And God bless you. And have a blessed, blessed Easter. Stand on your faith. Stand on your faith. Stand on your faith. God bless you. See you soon.